I do not want random people with no education background or experience determining what books my child can read, what curriculum they learn, and what clubs they can join. Just because you can get up at every meeting and rant and rave does not give you authority over my child's education.
The far right in this country despises us all. What I'm asking for is that everyone have compassion and consider the harm you do to the most vulnerable among us when you stigmatize their very existence. Banning LGBT books isn't going to stop anyone from being gay. It will just make them miserable and alienate them, and the consequences might be fatal. How can we teach the next generation of citizens to embrace democratic values like freedom of the press, freedom of speech, and freedom of religion if we betray these principles and deny them these liberties in school?
It's completely baffling that the people who support prayer in school and believe that under God should be part of the pledge are the same people who are hoping to remove books that reference pertinent adolescent topics such as puberty, identity, bullying, and environmental destruction. It's especially silly to me that the very topics that are often cited as inappropriate for school are topics easily found in the Bible, the God of which you invoke at the beginning of every school board meeting. One does not have to look far in this book before finding stories of incest, child sacrifice, genocide, infidelity, murder, drunkenness, and more.
Being a taxpayer does not grant special privileges over students, staff, and parents. Your personal religious beliefs, people in this room and on this board, should not be affecting my child's education either. Our schools are not to be used for personal political agendas, and our children are here for education, not religious indoctrination. I implore the board to put an end to trying to appease these extremists, focus on retaining staff, providing excellent public education, and a safe and welcoming learning space for all students. The speaker speaking about what great Christians they are, great. Go tell your pastor. Our schools are not your church.
The main book, This Book is Gay, was actually never checked out by a Dearborn student ever. Period. It wasn't. Not one time. The main book of concern, ASTA District, has not been checked out. So what are we talking about?
It's one woman's crusade to stir up the ultra-conservative element around one trumped-up issue. Come on, these kids weren't reading these books. And use it in a manipulative effort to replace a balanced school board with one tailored to their narrow set of views.
In fact, students who do not see themselves represented within the curriculum are more likely to deal with depression, anxiety, isolation, and suicidal ideations. The destruction of books like The Perks of Being a Wallflower could actually be the destruction of lives of actual children in your care. If we say issues of teen suicide, drinking, drug use, sexual violence, sexual consent, gender, globalization, corruption, or mental health are inappropriate, we are telling the teens who may identify with these themes that they are inappropriate.
This partisan group claims we're stocking the library shelves with pornography and insist on the removal of more and more books that they deem inappropriate. They insist that these books be removed, which tells my grandchildren, who are in fact students here, that this group, not my family, will determine what they can and cannot read. They claim teachers are grooming children. Really? Can you give me a specific example?
Some of these books are less than 2 years old. Sending any useful public school resources to be destroyed is regrettable, but designating costly books to be destroyed without seeking options within the community is utterly reprehensible. Even harder to understand is the fact that the destruction of these 350 books, worth thousands of dollars, made it onto the board's agenda for destruction, apparently without knowledge of the board. How alarming that board members who comment frequently on fiscal responsibility are blatantly unaware that their district is apparently wasting thousands of dollars on unused educational resources by destroying books in a manner reminiscent of the Soviet Union.
So let's stop pretending this is about protecting children from books. We all know this is about erasing our LGBTQ students and staff. It was literally written on signs people brought to the meeting on Monday. As a community, we need to come together and ensure that those who are different from us are embraced and supported. We need to teach our children that we do not fear people who are different from us, but that we welcome them into our community. We need to ensure our community, our schools, and our classrooms are safe, welcoming environments for every student and every staff member, regardless of their identity, religion, or nation of origin. That's who we should be as a community.